Okay, today we'll be discussing differentiation. Differentiation. Either call it differentiation or derivative. Examiner may ask you find the derivative or differentiate. And we normally differentiate with respect to x or depends on the variable given in the question. So if you have something like y is equal to x is to the power n, how do we differentiate this? Use the power. So to differentiate y with respect to x, use the power n to multiply the base, then subtract 1 from the power. So this becomes n times x, nx, n minus 1. So we have different methods of differentiation. We have the general method, which this is the general method of differentiation. We also have a first principle. We have a chain rule, product rule, quotient rule, and others. So I think in our previous videos, you'll be seeing other methods of differentiation, such as the first principle and the other methods. So stay glued to the channel and ensure you watch every of our video so you don't miss out in this calculus series. So we'll be exploring the general method of differentiation in these tutorials today. Now, having known that to differentiate with this general method, you use the power to multiply the base and subtract 1 from the power. Now, let's say we have something like this. Y is equal to x raised to the power 4. Differentiate y with respect to x. So what do? You use the power 4 to multiply the question and subtract 1 from the power. That's the rule. So it becomes what? 4 times x, 4x, 4 minus 1, 3. Answer. This is how you differentiate. Let's say you have y equal to 5s raised to power 3 plus 4s squared minus 7x plus 8. Differentiate this, the y, the s. Differentiate y with respect to x. So the same procedure, use the power 3 to multiply the question 5x power 3 and subtract 1 from the power. Plus the power here is 2 to multiply this and subtract 1 from the power. Minus the power here is 1 times 7x and subtract 1 from the power. Differentiate a constant is what? 0. So this becomes 3 times 5s, 15x. 3 minus 1, 2. 2 times 4s, 8x. 2 minus 1, 1. So the same thing as 8x minus, we have 1 times 7 here, 7, then x. 1 minus 1 is 0. X raised to the power 0 is equal to 1. So take note, this 1 times 7, we have 7. X raised to the power 0. So you see, anything raised to the power 0 is equal to what? 1. And 7 times 1 is the same thing as 7. So we can say our final answer is 15x squared plus 8x minus 7. Is how you differentiate. So let's see another complex or technical question. Let's say you have something like this. Y equal to 2x raised to the power 4 minus 6x plus 1. How do we differentiate this? The y, the s. The power here is 4. 4 times 2x will give us 8x. Subtract 1 from the power, that's 3. The power here is 1. 1 times 6x will give us 6. 1 minus 1 is 0. X raised to the power 0 is 1. So this becomes our answer. Y equal to 3s squared, or say, let's say 2x squared plus 4 over x minus 2. How do we solve problem like this? Y equal to 2s squared plus 4 over x minus 2. So to differentiate this with respect to x, I can first of all rewrite the question. Let's rewrite the question by saying y is the same thing as 2x squared. This is the same thing as 4x raised to the power minus 1. The negative power law in indices. that state that when a number is raised to a negative power, it equals the reciprocal of that number. So you see, if we have something like this, 4 over x, it is the same thing as 4 times 1 over x. You see, 4 times 1, and 1 over s can be expressed as x is to the power minus 1. Because when a number is raised to a negative power, it equals the reciprocal. So this becomes 4x to the power minus 1 minus 2. So when we differentiate with respect to x, 2 times 2x, 4s, subtract 1 from the power, that's 1. Then we have negative 1 times 4x will give us minus 5x. Subtract 1 from the power. Okay, let's do the breakdown so we don't get confused. So let's use the power 2 to multiply this, 2x to the power 2, and subtract 1 from the power. Plus, the power here is negative 1 times 4x negative 1, then subtract 1 from the power. When you differentiate a constant, 0. Any number at all, so long it does not have any variable, it is 0. So this becomes 2 times 2x, 4x, 2 minus 1 is 1, the same thing as 4s. Then minus 1 times 4s. So plus times minus is minus. So we have minus 4x minus 1 minus 2. Minus 1 minus 1 give us what? Minus 2. And this will be our answer. So when you express when you differentiate y with respect to x, you arrive at this. Then let's take another question. Assuming we have something like 2 let's say we have 2 root x minus 5 all over x squared. Differentiate this with respect to s. So how do we differentiate this? The law of indices, you agree with me that root x is the same thing as x raised to the power half. So this becomes x raised to the power 1 all over 2. So take note that root x is the same thing as x raised to the power what? Half. Then to also express 5 all over x squared, it is the same thing as 5 times 1 over x squared. And remember the negative power law. So to express this to be in one base, it will be 5x negative 2. So this becomes 2x raised to the power half minus 5x raised to the power minus 2. So you have to rewrite the question in this form, then differentiate with respect to x. Half times 2x will give us, take note, half times 2x. Then subtract 1 from the power, minus 2 times 5x minus 2, then subtract 1 from the power. So this will give us, this cancel this, we are left with x. Half minus 1 will give us minus half. Minus times minus is plus, so we have plus 2 times 5, that's 10x. Negative 2, negative 1 will give us negative 3, and this will be our answer. So you try this as assignment. You try to work this as assignment. And you solve 1. Try y is equals to 6x raised to the power 5 plus 4x4 plus 3x cubed plus 2x plus minus 5. Number 2, solve also 3x raised to the power 3 minus 6 all over x plus 4.